But then I remembered, I'm like, oh, this is the same yellow-pink combination as that one. So I just took some extra of the tardy slip papers, and I'd place that paper over my report card, and I could change all my grades, and I changed all my grades.
That's really smart.
But that's when I realized I was like...
It's ironic because of how smart that is, but how dumb you have to be to need to change.
Welcome back to an episode of Careful Boys, when we are going to recollect what is the first time that you felt truly smart.
Dude.
Okay, moved from Virginia to San Diego. I was 2 years ahead in math, and in Virginia, I was basically math. but like I was doing like algebra in Virginia, and then I moved here, and they're all doing like long division. I was like, this is sick.
Well,
so I actually had A's for like 2 years.
Is it because you were pulled back?
No, because I was pulled back.
Because he's older? Because you were held back.
No, I was not held back.
That's funny, dude.
So I didn't know I felt smart at this moment, because I think I was just a kid. But when my dad told me this story, I was like, holy shit. So my dad told me when I was like maybe like 6 or 7, he said, what are all the numbers added from 1 to 100? And then I was like, I don't know. And he goes, so how you would do it is 1 to 100, you can break them up. So like 49 plus 51 is 100. 48 plus 52 is 100. So there's like, I don't know, 50 pairs or something. So you take 100 times those pairs, whatever, you add like the number 50 in the middle and maybe 1 at the end. He told me the formula. And then he goes, so what's 1 all the way added up to 1,000? And then he told me, I told him the answer, and he goes, and that's when I thought you were smart. And I'm like, what the f***? I would do that right now. And I was an adult when he told me that story. But that's what he told me was the first time that he was like, oh, my son was smart. And I was like maybe 5 or 6. So he gave me one logic, and I understood the logic, so he just made the problem even more difficult. And then I got it. And then he told me when I was like, I don't know, like 21 or something, and I was like, I can't even do that right now. That's fucking crazy. And by that point, I already took calculus, and I can't do fucking basic math like that.
Oh my god, weird.
But that's pretty cool.
I guess that meant he explained it to you very well.
I like that it took him 20 years to compliment you.
Yeah, it took 20
He don't want to
years.
get you all cocky and stuff.
And then, I remember as soon as Taika turned that age, I told him that logic, because I looked it up. I was like, oh yeah, that's how you do it. I told him, and I was like, so what's 1 plus 1,000? I was like, I wonder if he's gonna follow my footsteps. And he was like, huh? And that's Gio's jeans. Just
What if he said 1,001?
My butt.
My butt.
my $45 hole.
I feel like him going, huh? Is your jeans specifically.
Why?
Because
The delivery.
The delivery was you, yeah.
But the not knowing it's Gio.
It's Bart expression, but Geo brain.
Gio brain.
That's true.
Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know about the first time, but I will say that there was one time that you remember when you would like just like figure out what your rate is for something
Wow.
right in the dance world, right? So I remember like going to do international classes for the first couple times, and I would fucking do anything. It's like, you get me out there and put me on your flyer, I'm not gonna tell you this, but I might even pay you for me to just get that opportunity, because you know, it's so early in the game.
Yeah.
And then so at the time, I thought I'd negotiated something kind of cool. I was like, dude, let me get like $200 for a class, right? So I'd go out there. He's like,
Internationally?
dude, in the beginning,
Whoa.
you don't know what you're worth, and you don't, and it's like low-key randomly taboo to talk to other people about like their rates, right?
Yeah. It's weird.
So you go out there, and then you get cool with everybody, and then, you know, I would be at least like you know, I guess chill and non-threatening enough to talk to other, like, you know, teachers and stuff like that after like some drinks, and just be like, hey, do you mind if I ask you a personal question? Like, you don't have to answer this. So like what's your rate? So it's like kind of start like figuring out what the market was, and then my mind would be like, fuck, I'll pull more students than you. I think I should charge this. So if I talk to somebody and they were like, oh, I charge like 400, they'd be like, maybe I could charge 500. So I'd go to the next thing, and they'd be like, oh, like, what's your rate? And I'd be like, oh, $500. And if they'd be quick to say yes, I'd be like, oh, fuck.
She said higher.
So I go to the next person at that camp, And like, hey, what do you charge? And then they'd be like, oh, like 700 or whatever. I'm like, damn, I pull more students than you. So then in like a 4-month window, my rate, in my mind, $200 was a sick class. It's more than I'm getting paid in LA. And then next thing you know, suddenly I'm at like $800 for a workshop.
That's tight.
And I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, this is crazy. And then finally, like, I went all the way to like, I remember like the first time I tried to ask for like $1,200 and they're like, nah, we can't do that.
Oh, that was, you got the
But I found my limit, but I found it in like 4 months.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Really good.
That's pretty good.
And that's huge because then you're counting how many classes you teach. I'm like, I would have had to teach 4 classes to make this if I was at my old rate. And that was like huge.
Watch this again and watch that back.
I don't even get the.
watch it.
I don't get the comparison at all. Actually, I don't understand what that has anything to do with me. I don't teach dance.
I don't get a rate.
What are you talking about? International.
You gotta find out what you're worth, man. And people will tell you. The market tells you, right?
Are you still pushing it today?
I feel like I went to a certain peak where I knew that this was worth it, and now I'm like, I should sit right here to guarantee the job.
Oh, so you don't price yourself out?
Yeah. But when I find out about other people and certain rates and stuff like that, like I know I can tweak it a bit.
Having a mortgage changes your perspective.
For sure. Now it's just, I'm not even about like street cred, like I need to be paid the most. I just need to be able to make the most. So if I can be like, I'll give you this, like minimum 2 classes, right? But if I go like, but for the 3rd class, I'll do it for this much. like 60% off type stuff. I'm just trying to get, I'm already there. I just flew 16 hours to get to this motherfucking place. Honestly, I'll teach 12 classes if I can come home with more cash, tax free.
Have you ever leveraged the exclusivity? Where you go, because let's say Sweden flies you out, right?
Sure.
You go, for this much more, I won't work in other studios while I'm there.
It's way easier for me because of the network that I'm in to be like, hey, I can get you to split the cost of the travel.
Oh, yeah, and just do like a bunch in a row.
Because then I'm going to get way more for the other countries anyway.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm always gone for like, if I'm going to go for like 3 weeks at a time.
So you can bang them all out.
Yeah.
That's pretty tight.
I remember when I first started, I heard that Shane Sparks gets $3,000 for a class. Like back in the day. And I was like, I'll never make something like that.
What kind of dance does he teach?
never did.
He was like one of the top choreographers at the time. He like choreographed for like You Got Served.
To
and stuff.
some people, he's the only choreographer at that time.
So he must have done Honey.
He probably
No,
did.
that was Lorianne
Gibson.
I think it was Lorianne Gibson.
I got 2 movies left, guys. Take it easy.
The person who choreographed Honey was in Honey. She was the girl that doesn't get the job.
Okay. You got served Honey and oh fuck, I'm done.
Save the Last Dance.
Save the
Oh
last
yeah, Save the
dance.
Last Dance.
Whoever choreographed that needs to do some time.
I'm gonna hip pocket Honey too. Hip pocket it.
But then you get you get slapped with the allegations. I wonder what that does to your
his
rate.
price kind of went down.
Why? Because he was in love with the classmates?
No, he had gotten some allegations for like an underage girl and stuff. And then I don't even think it ended up like, I think it got dropped later on. But the damage was like done type of deal.
He needed to hire us for damage control. We would have been like, you should have seen how hot she was.
Yep.
But he talks about it now. He goes on podcasts and he tells the whole story.
Talk about how hot she was?
Yeah, you should have seen how hot she was.
Yeah. You would have done it too. That's what he says.
I remember,
Don't judge me.
I remember a time I felt smart. I think this was 3rd grade. I noticed that your tardy slip paper, like when you come in the school late, you have to fill out this tardy slip and you hand it to the front desk before you go into the your classroom. I noticed that paper was the same as the report card paper. So you know when you get your report card, you don't get the copy with the pen on top. You get the copy below that's like pink with that carbon on there.
Yes.
So there's no way you can adjust it with a pen because they'll know. But then I remembered, I'm like, oh, this is the same yellow-pink combination as that one. So I just took some extra of the tardy slip papers and I'd place that paper over my report card and I could change all my grades and I changed all my grades.
Damn.
And I was like,
That's
I
smart.
was like, dude, this is I'm like, they fucked up printing on the same paper.
That's really smart.
So it's not for good, but that's when I realized I was like,
It's ironic because of how smart that is, but how dumb you have to be to need to change. That's crazy.
I can't read. I can't read, but I know that these two papers are the same.
I don't know words, but I know letters.
I know what an A looks like.
That's hella funny.
I can turn an F to an A real quick.
I'm an ESL, but I know these fucking things. I know they work, same paper.
That's so funny, dude.
Dude, I remember being in a car with this chick and she was fully naked. And my old Ford Escort car, you know? And then my mom's calling and I'm like, oh shit. Because if my mom calls, I have to pick up the phone. I have a rule. I have to pick up the phone when my mom calls me. And
with a fully shaken,
When your
naked
mom
chick.
calls in the middle of that?
yeah, well, I was still living at home.
Oh, so it could be something.
Yeah. It's not like I was like 30. So then I pick up the phone and my mom's like, Stephen Paul Greene, you get the hell home right now. I just got your report card. And I was like, boner killer. Instant boner killer.
Could get it up.
I mean, it's a boner killer just to see the caller ID that it's your mom.
So I just gotta bust real quick.
I got real hard. Then she said report card. Oh fuck.
Bust real quick and then pick it up. Put it in and pick it up.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly bust. I'll take you home.
So wait, was there a smart part where you like?
I think you just remember report card and then see how you got
I
lit.
thought you were able to get out of it somehow.
I'm going with Bart on this one. Like I just couldn't get out of that one. Couldn't get out of it. Because ultimately, did Bart fix anything? He just covered up a temporary situation.
Still dumb. Still at the last 3 reading levels in this grade.
But that's pretty smart to recognize like how to change that paper
I think
because
that
we
was
got
my-
that for every year. Like,
I think that was my whole life. I never recognized what I was supposed to.
the core solution.
Yeah, like if the teacher's writing something on the whiteboard, like this is what we're learning today, class. I'd be like, oh shit, her elbows are kind of ashy. Like I've never paid attention to what I was supposed to pay attention to, and I would hardcore memorize every single thing around it.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Some ashy ass elbows.
Yeah, it's
Must have been real bad.
So I'm always learning the wrong shit.
You know, actually, when I think of school, you know, there's one moment that very, very dumb, but for me, it was like victory, like huge victory, right? I remember there was I think it was like AP history or something like that, and you know when you're just like late for class, right? But like barely, but you're still the last one in class. I remember walking in, and the teacher looks at me and is like, "Why were you late for class?" And I was just, and everybody's staring at you. And this is like a moment, because I was very stupid nerdy, but I remember just being like, because the bell rang before I walked in,
Wow.
and then it was so sarcastic, but he just enjoyed it, and I just caught him at the right time. Yeah,
Shut
and
up.
the teacher was like, huh, okay, that's a good one, and let me sit down, and I just felt
got
like
away.
so much street cred.
Hell yeah.
You know. And it's like everybody looks at you and they're like, I accept you as one of my peers now.
That would never happen to me. They'd be like, go to the office
Get
right
the
now.
fuck out of here.
I'd be like,
Anthony just said that yesterday.
Next guy does it.
Never be able to do it twice. Never be able to do it twice.
Damn,
That was so
That's
smart.
pretty fucking badass, man. How'd you not get, dude?
Sometimes you just get lucky.
I didn't have one teacher that would let me slide with something that clever.
You look threatening though. I think I'm just,
Look
you know,
threatening?
I'm like a really non-threatening loser. Don't right before I walk in.
So your teacher was like, let me give you one win in your life.
I think so. I think so.
Let me throw this guy a
never
bone.
let me slide.
It's a core memory now that I think about it.
Teachers are probably like, I'm not fucking with this packy guy, dude.
He might blow up the classroom.
Like 9/11 just happened, dude. I'm not fucking with this guy.
9/11 happened when I was in college.
I don't think I've ever had a moment where I felt smart.
Yeah, that's cool.
Ever.
Heard that, brother?
Just kidding.
Heard that?
But
Feel you, dog.
What about like the recent real estate wholesaling deal during the whole acquisition of the other thing?
That's luck.
I don't
Just kidding.
I don't know. I don't think any of the actions are smart. But I do think at a very early age, I didn't know this, but people just trust adults and like what they say. But I think I had a bullshit meter. Because if someone
Against all
didn't-
adults.
Yeah, like I think it was like second or third grade that when I started realizing adults don't know what they're talking about. Some.
Damn, I didn't know that forever.
That's pretty smart.
I don't know, like it felt just like, oh, they don't know. Like if you ask them a question, if they don't give me an answer, I knew the answer wasn't right, but I had nothing to back it up. So like if I asked my mom about why do I have to go to school, it's like an innocent kid question, right?
Yeah.
And then all second, third grades would say that. And she goes, oh, because we have to go to work. And I'm like, why do we have to work? She goes, you need a job, you need to like live. And then like, I'll be like, but there's people that live in jungles and they don't work. And then so like, if someone were to sit down and go, we have a system called capitalism and we need these roads and things built. And then like, if they said that shit out to me, I'll be like, oh, you know what you're talking about. But you know, like when you're older, you're just like, you fucking kid, like I'm not gonna explain anything to you.
Yeah.
I immediately thought, my mom's a fucking NPC.
They should have been like the jungle guy don't got Minesweeper.
Yeah. But I was just like, you
You
don't
have to
know.
work too. When you're in the jungle, you're working.
that's hard to
You're
work.
working the whole time.
Yeah. But someone could explain that, I'd be like, oh, this guy's smart. They know what they're talking about.
But you might have caught her at a time where she didn't feel like explaining.
Yeah, that too, right? And I'm like, my mom dumb, dude.
My mom dumb.
Thanks to YouTube, dude, I can see what people in the jungle have to deal with. Like they go in there with those tools and they're building those really cool little, they're digging out those cool little temples and shit like that.
I know.
And they take like a sandwich out of their bag. That's how they live in the jungle, dude.
They make a jacuzzi in a cave and
yeah,
shit.
dude, fill it up with water.
Yeah.
I have one more lucky smart moment that is randomly a core memory too. You know when I only know the actual definition of one word, like word for word in the dictionary. I don't know why, but like this word catharsis, right? For some reason I memorized exactly that it's like a releasing of tension after an overwhelming experience. And I don't know, maybe I like the word, I just like learned it. I was like, oh, that's an interesting word. And then we go into English class one time, and then my teacher, Mr. Aldigo, he writes it on the board. And he's like, does anybody know what this means? And for some reason, I'm like, fuck, I know exactly. This is like very, what's that? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Fucking movie.
Good Will Hunting.
No. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Slumdog Millionaire. It's just like one of those. I just happen to know it because of some random thing. So I put my hand up, and I'm getting like a D plus or C minus in this class. Like I'm clearly not the smart guy, right? And he knows it. Obviously he knows my grade. And I'm like, oh. He's like, Anthony. Thinking I'm probably gonna say something dumb. I'm like, a releasing of tension after an overwhelming experience. He drops the expo marker and slaps me.
Like, who is this guy?
He's like, yeah, Joe Rogan at the table.
I
No!
just hella remember
That's
that.
tight.
And people, even just like the nerdy, like smart, cute girl next to me, just being like, wow. And I'm being like, oh shit, yeah, I just know stuff.
And then did you turn to her, you're like, I'm gonna dance, probably, for like the next 30 minutes. I'm gonna be a dancer.
This isn't really for me. This is just a side thing I'm
Just a temporary moment.
Just random, right? But you know, Slumdog Millionaire, you just for some reason learn something and it just randomly
That's
applies.
a good, yeah, that is Slumdog Billionaire.
But like, I don't know any fucking other definitions word by word. Like,
I like Good Will Hunting better.
That's the. He knows what I'm talking about.
I love that movie.
It's a way better movie.
Way better.
Yeah.
Then Slumdog Millionaire?
Oh yeah, way better.
Yeah, right.
well,
Slumdog Millionaire ends in a musical. Nice try.
Wrong answer.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
My people made it.
It's not your fault.
Shut up! It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Shut up, man. You fucking.